pain, pain. Welcome to Fluent American's exercise for practice describing a photo. I will show you a photograph, highlighting key vocabulary that you can use for describing it. In this picture, two children are facing away from the camera to look at a large white polar bear with a streak of black along his chest. The bear is swimming in a navy blue tank that could be at an exhibit in the zoo. He's separated from the kids by a thick pane of glass, and his paws seem larger than their heads. The bear is completely submerged. Bubbles can be seen pouring out of his nostrils, and his fur looks smooth and wet. Though the animal is looking away from his young audience, the kids look very amazed. Each of their heads is tilted up. It looks as though the boy is smiling, and the girl's pink glasses are facing the ceiling. The weather seems to be a little chilly, as both of them are wearing long sleeves. The boy is even wearing a fleece. There. This is Fluent American's Describe the Photo exercise. I'll describe for you a picture, highlighting key vocabulary that you can use to practice on your own. A steam engine has arrived outside of a station, with a cloud of white vapor coming through the smokestack. The locomotive is not carrying many other cars. There's just one additional car to carry coal for fuel. To the left of the train is another track that is currently empty. Regarding the station, its roof appears to be older, with dark spots that could be moss growing on it. There's also a man standing in the doorway, perhaps waiting for the next train. Further down the platform, several people are standing by the entrance to a museum, though there's also an empty bench where they could sit if they chose Fluent American English pronunciations video for describing kitchen vocabulary in American English. Take a tour of my kitchen with me. Cupboard. Shelves. Singular. Shelf. Drawers. Dishwasher. Sink. Faucet. Drain. Garbage disposal. Knob. Or handle. Drying rack. Knife rack. Stove. Burner. Oven. Counter. Outlet. Towel. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. Now I'll take a quiz to see how many you can remember. red, red. This is a Fluent American exercise to practice describing a picture. I will provide you with key vocabulary to describe the picture, then give you a chance to remember and repeat as much as you can. A family is at a Peppa Pig amusement park, taking a miniature train ride around a building that looks like a bank or museum. The locomotive is driven by a pig in a navy blue uniform and hat with a white anchor. The family is in the next car. The parents are wearing sunglasses and the mom is waving to the camera. Behind them are several other cars with other families with their children. There's a red metal fence with white posts surrounding the ride. Beyond the fence, the park looks crowded. The weather appears to be somewhat cool as the mom is wearing long sleeves and a scarf, though many other people are wearing short sleeves. It also appears as some of the trees have lost their leaves. Collar, collar. This is a describe the picture exercise from Fluent American. I will describe for you key vocabulary in the picture, then give you a chance to repeat as much as you can of what you've heard. A man is getting dressed in a suit. He already has on the sports coat and black tie, which he's adjusting. Towards the top of the picture, you can also see the collar of his white shirt. The suit appears to be navy blue in color, with similarly colored buttons and light pinstripes. The style of his suit allows the cuffs of his shirt to appear beneath his wrists. His left hand sports a silver analog watch with a brown band. His right hand has a gold ring on his ring finger. It appears that he's almost ready for a formal event. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Cold, cold. This is a describe the picture exercise with Fluent American. I'll describe for you a photo, then give you an opportunity to try to practice on your own. This picture shows a tourist attraction located in an urban setting. The structure looks to be about 9 stories tall and consists of ramps and walkways. It's made out of a reflective copper-colored material and glass. People seem drawn to the plaza, as it's crowded despite the cold. Most of the people are wearing coats, hats, and hoods, as well as scarves, and the trees have lost their leaves. Around the structure, a couple of skyscrapers can be seen looming in the background, along with a crystal clear blue sky.
Sun.
Don't forget.
Sun.
This is a Fluent American English pronunciation exercise in which we describe a picture. We'll provide key vocabulary, then give you a chance to try to repeat as much as you can. In the picture, you can see an African elephant standing in the savannah. In the distance, Mount Kilimanjaro looms with its snow-capped summit. In the foreground, the grass is long and goes up to the elephant's knees. He's facing the sun, and the light shines on his white tusks and long trunk. The air in the photo looks a bit hazy, making it difficult to see the terrain between the elephant and the mountain. Pool. Pool. This is Fluent American English pronunciations practice for the Duolingo speaking test. I will describe for you a picture, identify some key vocabulary, then give you another chance to repeat. A man with a beard is sitting on a large, fancy, extravagant white chair. He has his hand up to his mouth as though he is thinking about something, and it looks as if he is looking off into the distance. The chair is outside, located in a backyard. Behind the chair is a swimming pool. In the house that looks very large, it could even be a mansion. We can see it has several chimneys as well as a large patio area and lots of hedges as fences. The man himself is wearing a button-down shirt and blue pants. His shirt is unbuttoned down to his chest. He also has bands around his wrists, and it also looks like he has a bandage on his pointer finger on his right hand. Judging by the appearance of the place, it appears that this is occurring at a wealthy estate, or at least an upper middle class home. Boat. This Fluent American English pronunciation video will help you prepare for tests like IELTS, TOEFL, or the Duolingo test. In this exercise, we're going to take a look at a picture, describe key vocabulary, and give you chances to repeat. In this picture, we can see a group of 3 gondolas. It appears that the people who are steering the gondolas all have uniforms because they are wearing black and white striped long-sleeve shirts. In their hands, there's also an oar. They are also wearing long, knee-length boots. The gondolier towards the bottom of the picture is also wearing a hat, glasses, and a watch on his left wrist. His boat is empty, but the other boats all have passengers. In general, the water looks calm, although we can see a little bit of a wake following another boat off in the distance, towards the top right corner of the photo. It is still daylight and the sun is reflecting off of the water's surface. His, gas, set. My son's birthday just passed, and he received a lot of gifts. His favorite, though, has to be his new train set. It's made out of wood from a pine tree, and it's been painted many different colors, like red, yellow, and green. It came with a track that he can set up, and lots of little pieces I'm afraid he's going to lose. For instance, it came with a little gas station, lots of tiny trees to decorate around it, a plastic traffic signal, a train crossing sign, and even a gas station attendant. Now, whenever we pass a train, when we go around the city, he loves to point at it. And whenever I come home, I can see his train set spread out on the floor. Hood. We can see the front of the car, including the grille, the headlight, the high beams, especially for when it's dark, and the turn signal. Also above the grille, we can see the hood of the car. To the left, we can see the side view mirror. In the center of the picture, there is the windshield. Bottom left, we can see the tread of the front passenger side tire. Lastly, in the front of the car, we can see the bumper. Green. This is Fluent American English pronunciations practice for the Duolingo English test. We're going to practice describing this picture. I will show you key vocabulary, then at the end, give you a chance to practice using it. In this picture, we can see a doorway in the middle of a jungle. The plants are mostly ferns and other types of green plants that don't have flowers. The doorway itself consists of 2 separate doors. The one on the left is already open, and the one on the right is closed. We can see that the doors each have 4 panes of opaque glass, so that way it's impossible to see through it. Beneath the doors is a stairwell made of stone and mortar that looks like it's holding the stone together. We can also see on the right, leading up the stairways, appears to be a hose. That suggests that the picture is inside of a garden, which also can be somewhat confirmed by looking past the doorway. It looks like there's like a landscaped path with rocks on the edges to guide people as they walk through. There is lots of daylight, as can be seen by the sun hitting all the flowers, and through the doorway there appears to be a patch of sky. Lastly, for the door itself, it appears to be painted a turquoise-ish, a dark turquoise or dark teal type color. There are streaks of water on it from maybe condensation, and it even appears to be a small little dent in the middle of the door frame. Pin. Pin. This is Fluent American English Pronunciations Practice for Describing Pictures. We'll take a look at a photo, identify some key vocabulary, then give you a chance to try to repeat as much as what you can. Two people are sitting in folding chairs on what looks to be a city street. They are each playing accordions. The one on the left is black and the one on the right is red. In front of them there is a dish for tips in case someone wants to pay them. The building that they are sitting in front of has windows that are covered with shutters. It looks to be relatively cold as both people are wearing sweatshirts with long sleeves. The musician on the left has pants that have pinstripes, while on the right, the person is wearing blue jeans. Behind them is a sort of utility box for maybe some mechanical issues. However, it is covered with graffiti. Regarding the horse masks they're wearing, they're similar in that they both have wide open eyes and manes that go from their ears down the back of their necks. However, the one on the right is brown with a white stripe down the middle. However, the other one is all white with a black snout. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Black, black. Wall, wall. In the picture, we can see two wood tables with seats around them. Also to the right, we can see higher tables with some bar stools. On the counter, which is made out of wood and also with some tile, we can see there's an espresso machine as well as some food and drink options. Above the counter are several menus for drinks, hot drinks, and different types of coffee. On the right, it's possible to order, and then on the left-hand side, customers can pick up. The floor is polished concrete, and on the ceiling there are two pendant lights. The logo for the coffee shop is a spoon. One customer to the right is wearing a plaid shirt and khaki pants with glasses. English vocabulary for hair with Fluent American. Braids, braids. Curls, curls. Wavy, wavy. Straight, straight. Shoulder length, shoulder length. Bangs, bangs. Perm, perm. Relaxed, relaxed. Dyed, dyed. Highlights, highlights. Cornrows, cornrows. Waves, waves. Dreadlocks, dreadlocks. Weave, weave. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Fade, fade. Taper, taper. Mullet, mullet. Pixie cut, pixie cut. Mohawk, mohawk. Crew cut, crew cut. Comb over, comb over. Buzz cut, buzz cut. Afro, afro. Beard, beard. Mustache, mustache. Goatee, goatee. Sideburns, sideburns. Bald, bald. All the airport vocab you need, from check-in to baggage claim with Fluent American. Arrive at the terminal. Arrive at the terminal. Get a boarding pass. Get a boarding pass. Check in luggage. Check in luggage. Go through security. Go through security. Find the gate. Find the gate. Wait for departure. Wait for departure. Board the plane. Board the plane. Aisle seat. Aisle seat. Middle seat. Middle seat. Window seat. Window seat. Put your carry-on in the overhead. Put your carry-on in the overhead. Buckle the seatbelt. Buckle the seatbelt. Take off. Take off. Look out the window. Look out the window. Land. Land. Go to baggage claim. Go to baggage claim. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. Now, see what words you remember. Vocabulary for the gym and working out with Fluent American. Jump rope. Jump rope. Stretch. Stretch. Plank. Plank. Push up. Push up. Pull up. Pull up. Squat. Squat. Deadlift. Deadlift. Curl. Curl. Crunch. Crunch. Do the elliptical. Do the elliptical. Bench press. Bench press. Pull down. Pull down. Lunge. Lunge. See how many of these exercises you remember. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. Now let's talk about muscles. Biceps, biceps, triceps, triceps, abs, abs, quad, quad, calf, calf, hamstring, hamstring, glute, glute, back, back, chest, chest, shoulder, shoulder, lats. Key pronunciation and vocabulary for owning a pet with Fluent American. Collar, collar, leash, leash, harness, harness, crate, crate, cage, cage, wet food, wet food, dry food, dry food, kibble, kibble, carrier, carrier, veterinarian, veterinarian, or vet, vet, tank, tank, chew toy, chew toy, rawhide, rawhide, treat, treat, cat litter, cat litter, scratching post, scratching post, flea and tick medicine, flea and tick medicine, owner, owner. Pronounce clothing vocab with Fluent American. Pants, pants, khakis, khakis, jeans, jeans, sweatpants, sweatpants, dress pants, dress pants, underwear, underwear, boxers, boxers, briefs, briefs, panties, panties, bra, bra, belt, belt, shirt, shirt, t-shirt, t-shirt, tank top, tank top, crop top, crop top, button down, button down, sweatshirt, sweatshirt, sweater, sweater, Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hoodie, hoodie, jacket, jacket, coat, coat, socks, socks, pantyhose, pantyhose, skirt, skirt, dress, dress, leggings, leggings, yoga pants, yoga pants. To learn a new word and then forget it within a minute or even an hour? Let's take a look at a strategy that will help you remember words for the long term. A key part of learning vocabulary is associations. The more associations you have with a word, the harder it is to forget. So what are associations? They're anything like touch, smell, a memory that you have associated with a word, a picture, some sort of visual aid, a time that maybe you had an experience with your friend and that word came up. The more associations that you have with a word, the harder it's going to be to forget. So when we talk about trying to make a way to study these words, we're going to try to build more associations. First thing that we're going to do is try to find a definition. Ideally, your definition will be in English. If you're really struggling, you can also write a translation, although I would really encourage you to try to keep it in English as much as possible. Next, we want to find some example sentences, not your own sentences, because there's a chance you could use the word incorrectly. You can either use a dictionary. Dictionaries often provide, in addition to definitions, example sentences. Search engines like Google will also be helpful for finding collocations. We want common expressions that use the word. Words do not appear in isolation in any language. They're usually associated with other words. So we want to see situations where this is common. We want to try to find common words that appear with our word. Ideally, you can find 2 or 3 common collocations or expressions that use your word. Lastly, and maybe most importantly, I would suggest trying to draw a picture of your word. You want to draw what the word means to you. It does not have to make sense to anyone else. It just has to be a picture that makes sense to you. Here is a quick example. So I had a student that was studying phrasal verbs. Specifically, she was studying run away. So she described a time when she had to run away from a dog. Run away means to escape or to run in an opposite direction from something. So we just drew a very quick picture of a person running away from a dog. It doesn't have to take a long time, but it's something that makes sense to her, and it also comes from a life's experience that she had. So it makes the word more meaningful. These 4 tips, I hope, will help you to remember words a little bit more quickly. It does take time to use this strategy to get definitions. For me, for instance, it takes about 3 minutes to create a new flashcard. That being said, I'm able to remember the word for a much longer amount of time, and I also don't need to study the word as often.